Hare Krishna. My name is Kishor Kishori. I'm from Poland. I was born in Poland and grew up in Poland, and I meet the first devotees in Poland. Of course, my first contact with Hare Krishnas was in the movies. You know, in our country there were so many American movies, and the devotees dancing in this movie. Almost every second movie we've seen some devotees dancing on the streets. I mean, we were wondering what is this, but later we were so lucky to actually come in contact and to get more knowledge about this question. Actually, my first closer contact, it was through my father-in-law. He bought the Bhagavad Gita in Polish language, and this was not a usual thing, because this book was, he paid half of his monthly payment. This was very expensive, and in Poland was those days communist country, and people they were not earning so much money, and special books from Western country, they were very expensive. And later on, I was studying in Wrocław, on technical university, and some devotees, they were preaching there, devotees from Poland, they were preaching there, distributing books, and I had opportunity to meet them, and they all were organizing program. And very same time, when I met devotee in Poland, I was going also to West Berlin. I just started my postgraduate study in Berlin, and on the street I met Manidhar Prabhu, in the very center of West Berlin, Budapester Straße. He was distributing like this big vinyl records. I don't know what English you call this, LPs, or I don't know, with some mantras. And we get in conversation, and when he realized that I'm from Poland, actually, you know, from behind the iron curtain, he gave me all the books he had for free. On this time I was really not able to appreciate this, what he did for me. But this, now I know it was very unusual, and he showed me his very big mercy. And later on, he took address from me, and he sent all the books which he was not able to give me, because he didn't have in his van. So he sent me by post to Poland, and somehow it came true. Later on, I was visiting my friend in West Germany, in Heidelberg, and on the street I was just waiting on my friend. I met Krishna Das, one devotee from Holland who was in Germany distributing books. It was actually Prabhupada Marathon 83. And he gave me 2 books just for 5 Deutschmark, 2 Srimad Bhagavatam books, 6th and 7th canto, for 5 Deutschmarks. So it's like really like almost this BBT, I think BBT price for these books, and those days was for each book like 10 Deutschmarks. So he was also showing me big, you know, like mercy. And somehow I started to read these books also in German. It was for me like a challenge. I mean, I was studying German. I need to learn my German, so it was actually very helpful for me to also learn the German. So I started to read Prabhupada books with 6 canto. One thing I must admit, I was very angry, you know. I was very angry when I was reading Prabhupada books, because, you know, young man starting his life, you know, and until this moment quite successful, and then you learn about this material world, that actually is everything what you are doing is nonsense, you know. So it's not easy confrontation, but somehow the Srila Prabhupada explain the things so accurate. I mean, I couldn't even resist to his arguments, I couldn't even argue with his arguments. It's like so clear in his books. So I mean, I was just, although I didn't like it, I was forced to accept. And somehow or other, I get contact in West Berlin with devotees. They were just starting Namhata Center close to Checkpoint Charlie. Manudhar Prabhu, he helped me with this. And so started chant 60 rounds and Rohini Sutta Prabhu was passing by. So many great Vaishnava. They were passing by this West Berlin. I don't know if you know. On those days was like an enclave. It was like closed city, all surrounded by wall. 2 million people. 2 million people, and all around was the East Germany. It was not possible to go out, under special permission. So it's like it's very special city, because so many youngsters who were just trying to avoid military service, German boys, they were just moving to West Berlin, and so many old people. So the scene was like, so many young and so many old. Just by the way, the most popular business there was the funeral business. Every corner was the sign for funeral, so the sign of so many old people there. Anyway, I got big mercy to have contact with great Vaishnavas who were just coming there. I will not call the name, with so many: Sachinanda Maharaj, Bhakti Vaibhava Maharaj, Bhakti Charu Maharaj. He was like teaching us how to cook. Krishna Kshetra Swami was there also. Suhotra Swami. Many Devamrita Maharaj was also passing by. So many great Vaishnava, and this was a small temple, so we had very close association. So after and like Rohini Sutta Prabhu, he was giving his time, showing us how to distribute books and going on the street, going door to door. So now I can really understand how big mercy I got from Krishna to have association with such a great Vaishnavas. So somehow after some time I came back to Poland. We started a temple, and just happened that our GBC was also actually mainly active in Soviet country, trying to help devotees there. We were also somehow involved, with smuggling books, small Bhagavad Gitas, small Krishna book. We were trying different way, like when we seen some Soviet ships, so we were throwing on the ship from like and the Dunai River. We were passing some ships, so we were just throwing there to the Russians, and somehow we were trying different way. But one day I was invited to Russia. It was really like I think very special situation. I got the phone call in the like 2 o'clock in the night, and Kirtiraj Prabhu, who was a GBC, he was just in Moscow. He just called me, Kishor Kishori Prabhu, where are you? So I'm just in Wrocław in Poland. So how long it take you, to be in Moscow? How many hours? I mean hours. I need the permit to go. It's not so easy to move. Some formality, buying ticket, and I don't know. Oh, please come immediately as soon as possible. It was the time. It was end of '80s, so time of perestroika, and time when devotees, they were trying to introduce all the printing of the books through BBT. Before, it was not organized. Who could print? Different places, like in Lithuania, we know the name. The devotee Sanatan Dharma. He was printing with those days Bhakta Aurelius. Now Bhakti Swarup Chaitanya. So he was also like one of these pioneers who were printing underground books there, and many others, different places. For Soviet country was very big, so they were printing books underground. So when perestroika came, so so the GBC on all devotees, they were trying to, like to officially print these books through BBT, but I think just happened that some devotees, they were very reluctant to do this on official way. due to their own reason. I cannot explain why. I don't know why, but there was arguing with the GBC, with BBT trustee, so there was some kind of argument, and I think there was going some threatening to Kirtiraj Prabhu, so that's why he was, I noticed he was very afraid. So when I came to Moscow, so my service was just to be his shadow. So I was sleeping before his door. I was just walking like, I was practically his bodyguard. It was my first service in Moscow. Somehow he trusted me, so I was able to do the service, and for me it was like a new experience. Although myself, I was coming from Poland, was communist country, but I must admit that what I've seen in Moscow, how actually devotees were acting there, how they were austere, it was like for me it was shocking, and completely shocking. Prasadam, simply prasadam, what they get, how they were really like so much enthusiastic, I couldn't believe. I had experience from Germany, from other countries. I was in Europe, in Austria, in Holland, in Switzerland, but it was very nice, but this was extreme, this extremely enthusiasm and extremely austerity, I was shocked, first prasadam, I go there, like just some kind of, I was not able to call it soup. It's just potatoes in water with some millet, I didn't know what this, like with no spices, no salt, so still, I'm just, how you can eat like this, I was really attached, to nice good food, and for them was no problem, absolutely no problem. They were so happy, prasad, and so it was for me really like completely different understanding of, like, Krishna consciousness, like how they were surrendered and motivated just by service, not like we, we were attached, to prasadam, like me first time with gulab jamans and and other things, so for them service and and surrendering to spiritual master, to Srila Prabhupada. So this was the first time I came as a bodyguard. Another times I was just taking part more on festivals. I was able to take part in first Ratha Yatra. In those days it was Leningrad. I was trying to distribute books, and I can admit that in one day I distributed one book. When the book was I got 35 rubles for this. The cost of the I think it was Istochnik. Istochnik, that's mean Krishna book. I got 35 rubles. It was like 1/3 of month's salary, like average month's salary, something like this. Like 100 rubles is like average month's salary. So the books were very expensive, and anyway, nobody discouraged me just because I distributed. It was not all day, like maybe a few hours, just during Ratha Yatra. And Ratha Yatra took finish on the place where actually was this famous revolution before Winter Palace, on the special place before Winter Palace. Zimny Dvorets. Winter Palace. So 1917 actually revolution took place there. And this place was a witness of another revolution of Hare Krishna revolution. First Ratha Yatra, and after Ratha Yatra, devotees, they made fire sacrifice, and the initiation took place. It was very, very, very big festival there, and it was very impressive. Another big festival I was lucky to take part. It was Gauranga Bhajan, only in Moscow, but only in Moscow was like 30,000 people chanting all together. I couldn't attend all festival. I was just only a small part because somehow happened that I came with my car, and Sachinanda Maharaj, who was one of the organizers of this festival, he asked me to help him and take care of Boy George. So I had another service of being like his guide, bodyguard, and so on, and drive him through Moscow. So this was another experience for me, just to assist these people, and who were favorable to Krishna consciousness those days, and they were helping a lot. And I was really wondering how many people loved them. And this Boy George, how he was famous in Moscow. I didn't even I didn't know who was he. No interest, absolutely. But in Moscow, he's very popular. So I had to push him through the people, and it was a really nice experience, to be part of this. How 30,000 people, they were chanting Hare Krishna. So not often you have such an experience in 30,000 people, and maybe 20% of this maximum 20%, they were devoted. More, maybe not even that, maybe 10%. So this was like last time I was in Moscow, like having service. But what I noticed there, that very intense atmosphere, very intense also between people. I also was trying to distribute books, and I distributed to one bag, and he was like exploding, with the stress, just to telling how much stress he has. He was trying to do some business, and some people they want some money for him. They call this Krisha or racketing, something like that. I don't know. I was not aware what is this, but suddenly you were able to do some money. So maybe some other people they want to take advantage of this. So the atmosphere was quite heavy in Moscow those days, and devotees somehow, they were developing. When after second time I came there, they had like one flat and kolkhozne. Vidura Prabhu, he was taking care of this place. For me it was like completely round down flat, no bathroom. It's one place for taking shower, and how we call this? This is in Russian. I think this is chorny hot. Chorny. How is this is in English? This is like a special for the servants, like the stairs for the servants. On the backside, there was like kind of place arrangement, so you can take a shower. And kitchen was only one water tap. And actually, when there were so many devotees, one devotee from Australia, Gurutama, with his wife Devaki, he was like feeling himself in all this environment, like a fish in water. And he was cooking such a big quantities for devotee, and he was cooking something what was like more close to what I knew, and he was cooking such a quantity. The pots were not there, so he was using like the how we call this, the what you use in bathroom for taking bath, the vanna. What is this in English? I don't know.
Water pool?
What?
Water pool, no?
Water pool or something I don't know English, sorry, please. But in vanna, so he was cooking and putting in vanna, so finally he did enough, prasad for all the devotees, and later on I just get to know that he started temple in Riga. So this was really like pioneer experience. Even like I mentioned, I come from communist country. We have different problems with police, with different experiences. But this what I experienced in Moscow was really special. Like the condition and everything. Of course, later the devotees they got this begovaya, but it's also for me going to the ashram was like. Also like seeing how crowded it was, like they had this double beds, so the beds were not there was not even place between the beds, to walk. stay just bed by bed. So many devotees, so many beds, just to all space was just covered by beds, like maybe like 10-20 centimeters between beds. You remember? It's like this. It's packed, There's only some space for guests and BBT, So it was very, very, very special time. And somehow the devotees, they were so sweet, although such austere conditions, But also I was surprised, how devotees they were like straightforward, like one old Mataji, I forgot his name, but she was one of the pioneers. So like no Premavati, older. I think she's now in Vrindavan. Yagya, yeah, her name is Yagya. I remember there was some program and she noticed one guy walking by, a really like big Russian guy, it was quite cold and his chest was, open, it was like walking like this, and she, small lady, came to him, like stand before him and just getting up the hand, and hitting on his chest. Oh, take this book. And so why? Why, when you will not take this book, so next life you will become monkey. What? Yes, you will become monkey. You see, you already look like a monkey. And she was showing to his hair coming from his chest. I was like shocked, and he was really like taking her seriously. Yes, okay, how much? This was like unbelievable. And it was the way, how devotees they were preached, so bold, so straight, unbelievable. And but and somehow, when you have contact, they were so sweet on the other side. In Wrocław, in my place where we started the temple, and I'm trying to help devotees there. Every Sunday we're going on Harinam in our city, and then once a week we're going in other places around the Wrocław. So we try to do Harinams. We support devotees there, supporting temple president. And in marathon, I try to go out for book distribution. And I'm so fortunate that devotees in India and Andaman, they're inviting me every year to assist them in book distribution. So for me, it's like very easy. Very easy. Krishna is so merciful to me, so I can somehow be engaged in this Prabhupada mission and being so thankful to him, and somehow this is the way of life, just to somehow to express the gratitude for him.